when you decide that you want to be sober, there's a lot of healing that has to take place in order for you to fully become sober, because your demons are going to come up. The demons are going to come up that are going to try and bring you back into that space of drinking and partying and doing the drugs and doing the this and doing the that and doing the self-sabotaging things, because that's all you know as a normal. And so you got to then create a new normal for yourself.
And explain it to the blind. May you wake up from inside. See the truth through the third eye. Let your heart be your guide. Light up the way. Let your heart be your guide. Free from your pain, it ain't a mistake, cause you choose your fate.
Yes, I'm comfortable sitting cross-legged here. Hi guys, I hope you're having an amazing, beautiful, positive day. I am sending you so much love and so much peaceful, balanced energy. It is Misha with Feels with Meesh. Guys, today I want to talk about something that might not be agreed upon by everybody, but if this video found you and you're somebody that is trying to quit drinking alcohol, this is the video for you. I quit drinking over a year ago. It's been since last August or July, end of last year, July. And my life has completely transformed because of it. And so if you're somebody who you're trying to quit drinking and you maybe just needed a sign or something, and this is your sign, or maybe you're just struggling with the idea of quitting drinking and you just want a safe space, or you want somebody to give their experience and their perspective on the whole drinking thing. Now that I haven't drank for over a year and I can look back on my life as a drinker and now my life as a non-drinker, I feel so much better about myself. I feel so much better about my life. I feel like I can do anything, be anything, and I'm so full. Just the authentic joy that you experience in your life when you give up alcohol. I used to be somebody that needed a drink. Like I felt like I needed a drink. Like I remember going to the club and just feeling like I need to drink because it just gave me that dopamine hit and that liquid courage. You know, there's a reason why they call alcohol spirits, right? Its meaning is spirits, and it's because we become a different person when we drink. We literally become a different person when we drink. We like open a portal to the spirit realm, and that's why, you know, we make extremely poor decisions for ourselves when we drink. And I just found that I was always so sad, like I was depressed, miserable, and you feel like you need to then drink. And I came across this video on TikTok of this lady speaking about the science behind drinking, and she broke it down in such a beautiful and amazing articulate way, and I'm going to share that video with you guys here today. So let's watch it together, and then I will come back and we can speak a little more about it.
Alcohol is one of the greatest lies of our society, and I think in like 20 years people are going to be shocked at the way that we drank, at the amount that we drank. So much of the unhappiness that people seek to escape by drinking alcohol was actually caused by alcohol in the first place. For anyone out there that drinks even moderately, I was a moderate drinker, please hear me out. When you drink alcohol, your brain shoots up your dopamine by a big gap, right? And the gap between where your dopamine was and where alcohol puts it, that's the buzz. That's what feels good, right? But your brain is like, ooh, I'm not supposed to have that much dopamine that fast. So it releases chemicals to balance it out because your brain wants to be in homeostasis. The problem is that the chemicals that it releases to bring it back down will stay in your system for up to 4 days, whereas the dopamine spike is gone. Those chemicals greatly increase anxiety and depression. So you are literally paying for that hour-long buzz with 4 days of increased depression and anxiety. So when you feel so bad and you're like, oh, I just need a drink, it's because you're feeling bad, you're feeling sad, you're feeling anxious because in large part of the drinks that you've had in the last 4 days. Not only that, but when you drink regularly, your brain gets accustomed to that high spike of dopamine. So other lower spikes of dopamine don't register for you, meaning you can't get joy out of life's ordinary gifts. Without alcohol, maybe Maybe you get joy from like petting a cute dog, or from a loved one telling you that they love you, or from holding hands with someone you have a crush on, or from drinking a tea that you really like. Those things would normally give you a little bit of dopamine, but when your brain is so accustomed to the spike of alcohol, all of those things don't even register. They don't move the needle because your brain's like, it's not alcohol. So not only do you have these additional anxiety-inducing chemicals coursing through your brain, but you also have the inability to get joy out of life's ordinary pleasures. The combination of those two things makes the real price of drinking, the real price of that short little buzz, so much higher than what people realize they're paying. The good news is that you can reset your dopamine threshold. The bad news is it's going to take a few months. So if you quit drinking for a month, which is all a lot of people do, they're like, yeah, I felt moderately better, but like not life-changing better. It's because it takes about 3 months. In my experience and the experience of other people I know that have quit drinking, it's you reach that peak, happiness, being able to squeeze joy out of all of life's little pleasures, you reach that at about the 3-month mark. So you got to stick it out. If you can make it to that point where all of life seems full of little pleasures, you actually stop wanting alcohol. And that, the freedom of not wanting it, of not ever thinking about it, of it occupying no real estate in your brain.
Ooh, she makes such a good point of it not even occupying the space of your mind. Like when I go out, I'm like, people around me could be drinking and I'm not even bothered by it. There's not even a temptation in me. There's not even an ounce of me that wants to get involved, because I'm literally living in my own experience of joy, and it's authentic joy. It's authentic fun. And I love how she breaks down the science to that, because I remember I come from a very anxious background, growing up with a sick parent. And if you guys have been following my podcast or you follow my story, growing up with a diabetic mother, I had crippling and severe anxiety. And you don't realize how negative that drinking is in your life with already having the anxiety. It actually amplifies it to the 10th degree. And, you have this addiction to it. So you're just continuously drinking. And now that I am free from that, I just really look back on my life and I can't believe how I was abusing my body and abusing myself, and it being so normal. This is the other thing, is that it's so normal for us to self-sabotage, and the fact that alcohol is such a normal thing when really it alters your state of being more than anything. And, just the fact that there's so many people that drink and drive and accidents that happen. I remember when I was in high school, I had a boyfriend at the time who, his best friend got drunk one night and punched his other best friend when they were drunk, and he fell to the ground and hit his head. And it was a life-altering moment that changed his life forever. He is now not all there. Just from that one night of drinking, that things escalated, and it didn't need to happen. We were 16 years old. It didn't need to happen. How many things that you hear, and every single person has stories of people that things have happened to. Maybe some things happened to you that didn't need to happen because alcohol was involved. And we don't realize how the powers that be have made it so normal for us to drink that sabotaging ourselves in our life is such a normal thing, to a point that it's so supported on these platforms to see people sabotaging their life. I'm going to show you guys the next clip of this lady passed out, and her child is filming her, and they're laughing and they think it's funny. And this is a video that has amassed hundreds of thousands of views and likes, and all these people commenting and joining in on the fun. And really, like, that child seeing that, it's gonna do something to them. And this is what I think people don't understand. Like, you think it's funny when you don't know anything healthy. That's all you know. And so when you see these type of things and you're laughing and you're joining in on the laughter, it's because that's your normal. But when you escape from that normal and you come into this space of peace and you're healthy and you're pouring love into yourself, you're doing loving things to yourself, you feel this joy in your life, you see those things for what they really are. You see the sabotage in those things. And so I don't want to show this video to bring shame to this person, but I really want you to understand how things have gotten so backwards and twisted that a video like this can have so much attention and people pouring and feeding into that sabotage and not seeing it for really what it is as a healthy individual. When you step back and you see the bigger picture of the visual. And so this is a clip I wanted to share with you guys.
Ma, say cheese. You knocked out. Cheese.
So, I mean, not everybody's going to see that clip the same way that I see it, because we're all at different levels of perception. We're all, seeing things and taking it in with different information. You understand the impact that, not only the impact that that child has on being around that, and seeing their mother that intoxicated, but just as a parent, I can't imagine what it's like to be a parent and have all the stresses in life. But when you become sober and you love yourself and you're vibrating in this different energy, your life becomes lighter. And I just want everybody to know what it feels like to experience this joy and to really be free from drinking alcohol, because it will change your life. I really just wish that people knew what it feels like to live this peaceful life and have this authentic joy in your life, and being that you don't need to go out and sabotage yourself to enjoy a girls' night. You don't need to come home from that girls' night and be completely trashed and be the example for the people for the children you're raising. And that hangover that you're going to feel the next day is not worth it. Not worth that one video clip of you intoxicated and passed out on the ground. And I follow this other TikToker. I was following him for a while, and I actually unfollowed him. When you start to get sober, or you choose yourself, you choose that sobriety, you choose to rid your life of alcohol, and you start to heal and you start to see things clearly. The things that you used to be attracted to, as far as like entertainment wise, or what you would feed your energy into, or what you would just subscribe to, right? That entertainment or that idea of things, what actually entertains you, changes quite drastically. And so I used to watch the Jersey Shore and laugh with everybody as we saw Snooki self-sabotage. But as a sober person and as somebody who is promoting this sobriety, I look at that now and I feel kind of sad, to see somebody sabotaging themselves in that way. And this TikTok follower, or this TikTok person that I followed, I unfollowed him because he was posting some very destructive videos, and it wasn't resonating with me and my journey. So I did unfollow him. But I saw later a post that he had made about going to rehab and getting sober, and his whole life changed, and his content has changed drastically because of it. And I don't know this TikToker personally, but I'm so proud of him, and he is such a great example of what you can do when you quit drinking alcohol. It really quite drastically changes your life. And I gotta say, like, this gentleman, when I saw his previous TikToks, I wouldn't have imagined him becoming sober. I mean, I hope it and wish it for everybody, but this particular TikToker, I did not see this guy ever getting sober just based on what he was creating as far as content before. So I'm so freaking proud of him, and I think he's such a great example for people that are, you know, wanting to come into this sober life. So let's watch this last video together and then let's talk about it.
People who don't drink think that they're better than people that drink.
So I got tagged in this video and I was the same exact way as that dude. Like, I remember telling people, like, why the fuck would I stop drinking? This shit is awesome, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right? I was the same. Remember when I made that girl made that kombucha video? Like, use this as a substitute for alcohol. I was like, bitch, I'm an alcoholic. What is wrong with you? No, I had that same mindset. And I got sober, right? And I realized that, oh my God, I think that's why people in sobriety bring it up so much, is because they can't truly express how much it changed their life. And I imagine that kid's an alcoholic, and if you are an alcoholic, I'm not calling you an alcoholic to offend you, you probably just are an alcoholic because you made a video like that. I get it. But I guarantee you, you're gonna go to rehab.
So the ending on that, like, about him calling out that guy and telling me he's going to go to rehab, maybe, and maybe not. And that's the thing, is if you need to go somewhere to get sober, you should do that for yourself because you deserve it. You really deserve it. You know, that's why I posted that first video where that lady was talking about the dopamine and how our bodies are made up of these chemical compounds. And, you know, there's these synthetic things in our world that create that chemical response in our bodies, and we become addicted to it. And it's this false joy, this false happiness, this false fun. Now, when I tell you, you can go to a club and have just as much fun, you can be around your friends and have just as much fun, you can do anything and have just as much fun because it's authentic fun. And the thing is when you become sober, when you decide that you want to be sober, there's a lot of healing that has to take place in order for you to fully become sober, because your demons are going to come up. The demons are going to come up that are going to try and bring you back into that space of drinking and partying and doing the drugs and doing the this and doing the that and doing the self-sabotaging things, because that's all you know as a normal. And so you got to then create a new normal for yourself. And the more healing you do, the more you come into your inner child, which is going to come out naturally. You're going to start to be your goofy, fun self. There's going to be little glimpses of your childhood that come out, the joy from your childhood that come out when you're sober. You're going to realize that, you know, painting or doing something crafty or cooking or going for a bike ride, those are things that really just bring you so much joy. Those were things that brought you joy in your childhood, and you can then return to that energy where you're living authentic. And you don't need any substances to find that. That's something that actually you got to find internally. It's something that you can find within you, and it's something that exists in you, and it is the power that you have to cultivate that authentic joy in your life. And so I'm going to say it every day until I die. Giving up alcohol was the best thing that I ever did. And if this video found you and you're, you know, thinking about what that journey is going to look like, it's not going to be pretty. It's not easy. But when you get over that hump, like the first video that lady said about the 3-month hump, it just becomes normal. It just becomes your new normal. It just becomes that thing. And now you can just be yourself. And I think what's crazy is that people that are sober are looked at crazy. Like when I go out and I say I don't drink, people are like confused why I'm not getting involved in the self-sabotage. And, you know, they can't quite understand how and why I'm just so happy and joyful on my own without it. You know, my friends say that I'm the drunkest sober person that they've ever met. And that's true, because my inner child comes out when I'm around the right energy. And that's really, truly what happens, is your inner child comes out. And the fact that the world is so backwards that they would have the sober person looking crazy to the drunk people, or the people that drink, or the people that are choosing to drink. The sober person is singled out, and people can't quite understand it. And I think that in the next little while, we're going to really see a shift in dynamics here, where people are going to give up the alcohol, and it's just going to happen more and more and more. I'm praying for this, because alcohol does nothing but damage. And, you know, you can argue with me on that. Having 1 or 2 drinks out with your friends is fine. But honestly, if it's 1 or 2 drinks, is it really necessary? Do you really need it? Try going without it, and you'll see how unnecessary those 1 or 2 drinks really are. All right, guys, I love you so freaking much. Thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in personal sessions with me, you can DM me, booking at feelswithmeesh.com. I hope you guys have an amazing, beautiful, positive day, because you absolutely deserve it. Love you.